This was highly requested from you. Rom and Sheer Tinted Sticks. I do have two shades with me right now, number 5 Dutch Cocoa and number 6 in Vinery. You can tell which one I'm wearing, right? In Vinery. Such a beautiful shade. I love it so much. I do have it paired together with a Lily by Red Smiley Lip Blending Stick. And today we will be doing the in-depth review, swatches, live lip swatches, as well as comparisons. So for the Sheer Tinted Sticks, Rom has come out with 6 different colors for the original lineup. You have number 1, Bare Pumpkin, number 2, Bunny Hop, number 3, Taffy Berry, number 4, Camel Nuts, what a name, number 5, Dutch Cocoa, and number 6, in Vinery. Honestly, I had a hard time choosing which one to get because they all look so nice, and it's obvious that Rom is also hopping onto some of the trends as well. For example, bunny tongue, bunny lip, that kind of thing. That was like so popular. I feel like that was like a micro trend. It wasn't really for me, but not gonna lie, part of me was like, ooh, I want to see how does a number 2 Bunny Hop actually looks like for, you know, bunny lips, but it's probably just another light cool pink color, which I've already have like a lot of them. I also really like Camel Nuts as well. I don't know about the name, but the color itself is pretty. And number 3 Taffy Berry was a tad bit too red to my liking for some reason, but the colors number 5 and number 6, that mutedness really spoke to me as like a light olive, because I just feel that muted colors look so much better on my skin tone. So this is what number 6 is looking like, and I may guess, spoiler alert, I really like this color on me. Number 5 Dutch Cocoa is described as a subtle red-brown combination, and number 6 in Vinery is described as a red plum, like slowly boiled grape syrup. Yes, exactly what they said. And the colors themselves aren't very intense because of the nature of the formula of the lip sticks. I nearly said lip tints. They are kind of like that sheer jelly lips, which is literally what Rom puts as an imagery next to the swatches, which I think is very, very accurate. At the moment, these sheer tinted sticks from Rom are available for international purchase on OLIVEYOUNG global website, so you can check it out over there. And if you do want to pick it up and you want to save a little bit more money, you can use my code 21ITSKRYSTLE to help you save a little bit more. And if you do choose to use my code, thank you so much. It supports the channel. And I think these should reach YESSTYLE eventually, but at the moment, it's not available yet. So if it is, I will update the description box down below as well as the pinned comment. So make sure you check it out over there. The sheer tinted sticks were released concurrently with the Bare Water Tints, also a new formula from Rom, but if you know how I feel about the Bare Water Tints. I will put a card up above if you haven't checked it out already. However, I implore you to stay for this video over here because this is so much better than the Bare Water Tints. I'm not gonna do a comparison between the two, but in general, like my experience with this is so much better. I would say like 90% better. These sheer tinted sticks from Rom, I would describe them as a glowy lip balm without the waxy grip to it. You know how some lip balms have this very waxy feeling, it starts to feel very heavy. This isn't like that. And the texture itself is really thin and very lightweight. It has a lot of slip, so when I rub my lips together, it not necessarily feels slippery, but it just feels a lot more comfortable. There's nothing really like gripping the two lips together. After wearing this for about, I would say 30-45 minutes, when I rub my lips together, they are feeling super hydrated. There's nothing really like that friction of your upper and bottom lip together. So I really like that a lot. It does offer a little bit of shine. It's very soft. The color is soft as well. Like the name suggests, sheer tinted sticks. So everything is just sheer. So it's a nice wash of color. So that's why I feel Rom really nailed the imagery of sheer jelly lips. And actually sheer jelly lips, I believe, was a huge trend back in early 2010s for K-beauty, and the trend kind of died down and now it's back again. So I'm super happy that now that I have a better makeup understanding and like I can appreciate the sheer jelly lips a lot more. Hold on, let me take a sip of water. The color actually still stays despite the fact that it's like a glowy lip balm, and there really isn't like any mark on my bottle as well. So That's like a quick water drink test for you as well. And again, the word sheer, right? The color pigmentation on this is pretty low. I would say one swipe is about 20 to 30%. So I find myself building up the layers and going in with 2 to 3 layers, even for today. And it's actually recommended by raw men to just build up the layers as well. And it is very easy to build it up. It's not going to disrupt the bottom formula, or nothing is really going to goop up or bunch up on your lips. And when I do go in with that 2 to 3 layers, right, the color stays true to nature. Obviously, it does get a little bit more pigmented and it does go, I would say, a little bit darker. However, the lip color itself doesn't oxidize with time. I found that with certain lip tints or lip products, sometimes the color changes a little bit after you give it like 1-2 minutes for it to kind of sit on your lips. But for this, they do stay true to color, which I greatly appreciate. And unlike some other lip products, bare water tints, these do not settle into your lip lines. They just stay on your lips and it keeps your lips nicely hydrated, which I so greatly appreciate after my whole fiasco with other lip products. It is also partially because of the nature, that it's like a lip balm-esque kind of thing. So by right, it should do its job of, being hydrating. Now with this being a glowy lip balm, I must say that the adhesion is pretty good. The sheen of it does wear off with time very fast. I would say maybe within 20-30 minutes, it's gone. Right now on my lips, there really isn't any like sheen anymore as compared to when I first applied it. But the color still stays, and that's what really impresses me the most. And sometimes I feel with certain lip balms or even certain lippies, sometimes throughout the entire day, when you try and like talk and speak, you kind of eat your lipstick. And then by the end of it, you're wondering like, where's my lipstick? Where's my lip tint? Sometimes it feels like it just disappeared into nowhere. So with this, it's actually pretty good. I really like how this performs. And I want to clarify this, okay? This does not stain your lips. It's a glowy lip balm, not a lip tint. A lip tint will stain your lips. A lip balm will not stain your lips. This one, I think it tries to stain your lips a little bit, but once you go and have your lunch, your dinner, you're sipping on coffee, as long as there's something constantly touching your lips, it will wear away, fade away super fast. So you definitely will have to reapply this. And for me, personally, I'm pretty okay with reapplying lipstick because that's how lipsticks should be. I don't expect a glowy lip balm to forever stay glowy on my lips. We gotta be realistic, people. So that's one thing I want to put out there. So it's, for example, I have 2 swatches like this, one light and one dark one, right? Let me go get tissue. Swipe it like this. You can see that, yeah, it does leave like a very, very slight stain, like a 10%, 5-10%. It's barely even noticeable. And even when you try to like layer it up, more product, right? It's just not going to stain at all. I tried it, it doesn't work. Realistically speaking, right? Even if this stain was on your lips, would you even notice it on your lips? Because it's so barely noticeable. At that point, I would have just gone in with one more layer of a full reapplication and have like nice, pouty, juicy lips, And since we're on the topic of reapplication, let's go in with one layer to kind of, top it up. When I go in with this, it adds in like that nice additional 20% to kind of, make the lips a little bit more contrasty in a sense. And even with this layer of reapplication, right, there is no product bunching up. You still can see my lip lines and a little bit of like the dryness, like maybe like right over here. But honestly, who is going to scrutinize your lips so up close and personal? Nobody. You gotta like step away, see the big picture. But yeah, before I forget, the fragrance of this, right? Let me tell you, there's nothing. Yeah, nothing at all. Sometimes with like lip products, I would expect maybe a cosmetic-y kind of smell or a waxy smell or something that smells like lipstick. this smells like nothing at all. So if you are very, very particular about fragrances, you don't want anything too invasive in your nose, I'm happy to tell you that this is a very, very safe buy. It's probably one of my first ever lipsticks that I realized that does not have any sense to it at all. The product itself, the bullet, right? It's soft and malleable, but not as soft as those clicky, jammy pens, that kind of thing, like the Tarte ones. And this actually leads me to my comparisons right now, which we have a couple on hand. Gosh, I have a bunch of these, so where do we start? Shall we compare this first, the Glasting Melting Balm, to the new Sheer Tinted Sticks? Y'all were asking me like, Crystal, this is the one that I'm most concerned about. I'm like, okay, I got you. So this one is the Glasting Melting Balm in Kaya Fig. So it is very thick in texture, very goopy. Honestly, this isn't my favorite formula from Rom N. In fact, I actually hate this formula. Hate is a very strong word, but you know, I only have one color of it, and there's a reason why. Then we have the Sheer Tinted Sticks on top. Yeah, so this is the two differences between the two. Sorry, I should bring y'all closer. You can see that the Glasting Melting Balm, it is way much more thicker in texture. Over here, you can see the edges especially. The edges are really jammy, goopy, and that kind of like stays on your lips, which is like, oh, I hate it. I hate. The biggest difference between these two is that the Glasting Melting Balm is heavier, thicker in texture, and you will have the goopy sensation to it as well. Let me do one swatch of the Glasting Melting Balm. This is such an awkward way to swatch it. One layer of the Sheer Tinted Sticks. So these two are multiple layers, and these two are just one layer alone by itself. Glasting Melting Balm, Sheer Tinted Stick, Glasting Melting Balm, Sheer Tinted Stick. I think at this point you definitely can see that the Glasting Melting Balm has more color pigmentation to it, and there's also a little bit more shine as well. And of course, we're gonna swatch these two off. You definitely can see that in terms of longevity, these two just kind of hold up the same. So yeah, I think that the only good thing about the Glasting Melting Balm is that as I'm filming this right now, the Glasting Melting Balm has a lot more shades as compared to the Sheer Tinted Sticks. So maybe the color selection of the Sheer Tinted Sticks aren't as fleshed out. So I think that's the only downside. But honestly, I would rather choose a lip product that is more comfortable on my lips than something that is not as comfortable. And I think it also depends on personal preference as well, because I don't like that sticky, goopy, grippy feeling of the Glasting Melting Balm on my lips, but I know some people like it. So again, makeup is a very personal choice. Definitely has a scent to it. It's like a slightly sweet scent. I have this Etude Syrup Glossy Balm in number 3, Cherry Tart. Honestly, not a big fan of this. I just don't like how it feels. Super grippy, super thick on the lips. Yeah, I just don't like how it feels on the lips. I mean, swatched out, it does look nice, but you can tell that it's one of those with that very jammy texture. As compared to the Sheer Tinted Sticks, you can see that the Sheer Tinted Stick isn't as shiny and glossy as compared to the Etude ones. Can layer it a little bit. Color will go a little bit deeper. Honestly, I'm not even sure if the Etude Syrup Glossy Balms are still available, but I knew that this was very, very hyped up as well. Maybe like 2 years ago, but yeah, I think this is, oh, this expired. Okay. Maybe I should throw this out, but if anybody needs it for a point of reference for one of those like clicky pens, like the Tarte Maracuja pens or something, those felt pretty similar to this. So yeah, it's still a good point of reference. And then we're going to do a swipe test, not really a block test, but yeah, this is how they hold up. Let's do the top part here. Yeah, this is how they kind of hold up. We have the 3CE Plumping Lips. This is in the shade Rosy. And this is one of those twisted ones. Something very similar in terms of mechanism to the MAC, what's it, Squirt Glosses, or I don't know what's it called. This one has a minty feeling, but it's also pretty thick on the lips. Pretty jammy as well if you don't spread it out, but I feel that this one kind of evens out a little bit better compared to the Etude Syrup Glossy ones. Then I'm gonna do one layer on top over here. I'm not sure the camera will pick it up, but the 3CE Plumping Lips is a lot more thicker in texture as compared to the Ramen one. Granted, the 3CE one is a lot more shinier and reflective. Again, if you like something that is like high shine or something like that, then go for the ones that are like high shine. The Ramen sheer tinted sticks, I don't think you can really get that high shine kind of look, maybe with like 4 or 5 layers, but at that point it's like, girl, you might as well just get a product that is meant to have that high shine look. This is multiple layers, this is one layer. 3CE ROM and 3CE ROM, and I think even with that one layer swatch, you definitely can see how much more reflective the 3CE one is. We're just going to do this. I think it's really important to do these type of like visual comparisons, not to, you know, throw shade at other brands or put certain brands down for XYZ, but more for the visual comparison, because sometimes we're unable to see these products in store. So having like a rough guide, at least seeing something against A, against B, I think that's pretty good. I am still a firm believer of like going into stores and swatching things and all that kind of thing. Touch it, see it, feel it for yourself. You are your best judgment, and if you like it, you get it. If you don't like it, then it's whatever, that kind of thing. Let's move on to lip swatches. Thank God I only have 2 shades this time around, because the last lip review, I felt like I was going to rip my lips off any moment. It's gonna fall off anytime. Let's go in with Dutch Cocoa number 5 first, the subtle red-brown combination. Let's go in with one layer. This is literally one swipe, one layer. You can see that it offers a light hue of color, light wash of it. But you know, it's not giving enough oomph, that kind of thing. So we're just gonna add on a little bit more. This shade, number 5 Dutch Cocoa, despite it being like a subtle red-brown, it's supposed to be warm tone, correct? I feel like I could pull this off because there isn't a lot of orangeness in it, and it's more of the subtle kind of color. So I think this actually works out pretty well. And it's perfect for like fall season as well. Fall season, the cooler season with the, you know, toasty browns. I'm getting into that vibe again. I love brown and lippies. I feel like it's one of the more wearable lip colors across the board, be it for cool tone, warm tones. Brown lippies are like where it's at. So this is like a nice my lips but better brown and lippy. Recently, how I would pair this sheer tinted stick is with a lip pencil, because I do feel that with how it looks like right now, it can look a little bit messy, for the lack of a better word, or not clean. So usually I will go in with a lip pencil just to sharpen up the edges, you know, define the edges a little bit, and then I go on with this on top. Beautiful. I love how it looks like. Granted, you totally can just throw this on without looking into the mirror, walk out the door, go to work, and it will still look good. It beats better than having no lip product at all. This is at least something, but I like just the edges to look a little bit cleaner, so that's a little tip from me. We're gonna go into the blot test. I hope this is in focus, because the last time I did this, it wasn't, and I felt really bad after editing the video. Like I said, the adhesion of this for a glowy lip balm is pretty good. Granted, there's like some transfer to it. This good adhesion, personally, and still having color on the lips. So, gotta give props to Ramen for this. And moving on to number 6 in Vinery. So this is how one layer exactly will look like. And there's that nice hue of slightly mauvey purple. A sheer product like this, right, would be great for those who want some tint of color to it. For example, maybe if you're just getting into makeup and you want a little bit something, but too much color scares you off, you're just starting out with lip tint, for example, then I think this will be great. It offers just that wash of color, plus the color itself is muted. It's muted and it's not going to scream for attention. I'm using it very loosely. So yeah, this is really nice. I actually like it. But again, I want more, so let's go in with the other layer. This color is so nice. Totally can see myself wearing this, despite the fact that it's on the deeper tonal value according to raw men and like K-beauty beauty standards. But I totally can see myself wearing this with other eye looks, lighter eye looks, deeper eye looks. It's my pick, honestly. And even though I've been taking off the previous lippies, putting on a new one and back and forth, right? The texture of my lips unemphasized, and it still looks so good. Again, you can see there's some transfer to it. I actually might just bring this with me for traveling, my upcoming trip, because this is just so fuss-free and easy to work with. For the final verdict, do I think that the new sheer tinted sticks are worth checking out from ROM N? My answer would be a solid yes. I genuinely, thoroughly enjoyed these products so much more than the bare water tints. And I just love how it performs. It wears well, it keeps my lips look nice, healthy, moisturized, while adhesion is high for a glowy lip balm. I can greatly appreciate that. So highly recommend you guys to go and check it out. My only concern is that Raw Men doesn't expand the shade range. Because I realized that a lot of the Raw Men lippies that I personally like the Glasting water tint and I think the Zero Matte lipsticks as well, they don't usually expand those for some reason. So I'm just like, oh no, this has 6 shades. Are we going to be stuck with 6 shades for the next 2 years or something like that? In all seriousness, I do think there is one type of individual that this might not work out for them, and it's if you have very pigmented lips. As you guys have seen, my lips are pretty pale, light, a bit grayish as well. So I don't really face the issue of lip tints or lipsticks not showing up true to color on my lips. Obviously, depending on your complexion, color theory, and all that kind of stuff. But majority of the time, the colors will always show up on my lips. So with these being sheer tinted sticks, right, literally, I'm not sure if the color will show up on your lips. So my recommendation is go onto the internet, search for YouTube reviews, go onto Reddit, search it up. I am sure someone has checked these out with pigmented lips. There are swatches out there. If you have checked these out, please let me know down below how did it work out for you. I want to hear your thoughts as well, and it might help out someone in the comments thinking on whether to get this as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you want to hear more of my honest raw men lippy reviews, highly recommend you guys to check this video out over here.